Today, we are with Samantha. She's the founder of Lux Bodywork. Samantha, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you again.
Tell me your story.
So the reason I started this whole process is I started with just a simple bar of soap. And I started it because I was a competitive athlete and I already had sensitive skin. And I was just really, really hard on my skin. And so it made it problematic because there just weren't anything out there, right, for my skin, right? Because it was already really sensitive. And so that's how this whole thing got started. And I started with just soap in the beginning. And then I expanded to lotions and facial serums and body scrubs and lip balms and all kinds of other stuff, salves. So I do have a degree. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology with 3 years of chemistry as my background. And then I recently got a diploma in organic cosmetic science.
Wow.
There you go. So my stuff is very purposeful, right? It's got meaning behind it. And I only it's all plant-based. I don't use any animal products other than beeswax in some products.
Fascinating. So how long ago did you start the business?
I started it in the fall of 2010.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Yep. Wow. So I'm going on 16 years. If my business was a person, it would be a teenager.
Samantha, a lot of people that struggle with skincare, I feel like they usually go to Amazon and get something. But why did you decide that not only you're going to make them, you're going to try to share them with people? What was inspiration?
So the inspiration was when, for myself, it was hard to find anything that just didn't have a lot of toxic ingredients in it because big commercial manufacturers have been doing things the same way forever. And to manufacture the way I do in small batch manufacturing, using very selective, high quality ingredients, it's not, you have to, for a big manufacturer to do something like that, they have to change out everything and how they do it. So it's why they stay doing it the way they're doing it, because it's not only what they know, but it's, I don't want to say it's necessarily easy, but it's just convenient. So I started when I saw the results of something as so simple as using a quality natural bar of soap, which, by the way, these are not scented with fragrances. They're scented with essential oils, right? Because fragrances are hormone disruptors and they are not good for your skin. So for me, it was about not being able to find what I needed. And so that's how I thought, well, geez, I'm going to, I always loved chemistry, absolutely loved chemistry. It's my favorite subjects when I was in college. And so I just started kind of experimenting, got a few books and started reading. And that's how I got started with the soaps. And then I went on to expand, as I said before, like in lotions and lip balm and body scrubs. And then in order to really get into ingredients for the face, you really have to know what you're doing. And so that's when I, selected a school that was, accredited to get my diploma in organic cosmetic science.
Wow. So this is a lot of stuff you have in your booth, lip balm, body butter. Is this a full-time gig or is this a part-time?
No, it's a full-time.
This is what I was thinking. I was like, how do you have time?
Yes.
And when it comes to making stuff, I know a lot of vendors struggle to make it them at their house. Sometimes they have a garage.
Yeah.
How do you make them? Do you make them in a garage or something?
No, so I have a whole separate space in my home that's dedicated. So we have 3 levels in our home and the bottom level is mine. And the whole entire level belongs to me. And I have a whole separate kitchen in there. I have a small lab. That's where I have all my storage, my drying racks. I have a small display in there. So if somebody wanted to come in and purchase something, because I do have some people that will come to my house sometimes, but that's where I do it for now. And I actually can do pretty large scale in, the size that I do, about A year and a half ago, I upgraded some of my equipment by buying a professional commercial grade homogenizer, which has a high shearing rate. And all that means is that it just spins at the right speed for mixing things like lotions, facial serums, and you can see the real difference from just a regular hand mixer to a homogenizer. It's just way more creamy.
Fascinating. Tell me the process. Pretend I don't know how to make this. Let's talk about this. Is that lotion?
Yes.
Can I grab one?
Yes.
From start to beginning, how do you make this?
Yes. So this product is really wonderful. It's almost vegan. It does have a little bit of beeswax in it. But so what I do is I take all of the hard oils, all the butters and the wax, and I melt those down in a double boiler, right? So because I don't want it to have direct contact with heat. So I put it in a water bath and then I let it melt down. And while that's melting down, I measure out my distilled water and aloe vera juice and all my, water ingredients that will get mixed in with that. Then I get that up to the same temperature. Once everything is melted with the oils and the butters and the waxes, then, when the water and the oils and the wax and the butters are all at the same temperature, then I pour the oils into the water and using my homogenizer, because you want to mix it. You just get a better preparation if you pour it while it's mixing. So then I pour that in and then I mix. Then I'll let it set and cool down so I can add my preservative, and I can add any extracts that are heat sensitive, like calendula oil or green tea extract, things like that. And then once that's in, let me step back. I also add my essential oil scents. This one here is lemongrass. So I add those about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I will stir those in, and then I will give it one more mix with my homogenizer, and then I put it into these bottles. So this is what's called an emulsified product, because it's a water and oil blend.
You making in a batch, right? Small batch.
Yes.
And how many can the batch make? How many of this can the batch?
So I just do small batches. So I'll usually make like 8 to 10 of these at a time in the same sense, right? And so my stuff has a high turnover rate, so it's always fresh. And I do that. That's intentional. Because I would rather be making stuff than make giant batches and just have it sit there for 4 months, right? I want it to go out the door.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like you are one of the most experienced vendor I have talked to. You've been doing this for like 16 years.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of vendor comes and go, you know. They come for one market to come sell the sourdough bread, and it doesn't sell out, and they freak out. They're like, I'm not coming back again. What's the struggle? Why do you think so many vendors stop coming back after 1 season or 2 seasons?
Well, I think a lot of times it's because either they don't know what their why is, like why they do what they do, or they're doing it as a side hustle and they realize, wow, this is a lot of work and I'm not really maybe making as much money as I thought I would. And so they stop doing it. For me, the reason I have stuck with it is because I make an incredibly good product, but it's done with purpose, with meaning, right? And I know that my experience with using really good, clean, plant-based products, the difference it makes on your skin. And I want to share that with other people, because there's a lot of other people that also struggle with good quality skincare. And I go back to it. You know, it starts with what you wash your body with. And it's amazing when you have a clean, natural bar of soap, what it can do for your skin.
We should reach out to JFK Jr.
Yes.
So since you do this full time, I know some vendor, when they go to a market, they usually want to make a certain amount of money. For example, if they pay $25 to get in, some of them might want to double or triple it, you know? Because you do it full time, I'm assuming you go to a lot of market, right?
I do. I go to a lot of markets. I also have a website.
You also have a website.
Yeah.
When you're deciding what market to go to, what do you look for?
Well, I look for the location. If it's going to be in a good area where they can naturally have good traffic come through. Sometimes the booth fee can be an indicator that it's going to be a good show, but also that's also not true because I've paid a lot of money for a booth and it's been a total dud. And sometimes you don't know until you at least try it once. And then if the person putting on the show doesn't do a lot of advertising, or if they only use social media as advertising, then I generally try to avoid those because when you put it on social media and a lot of people like the event or say interested, that doesn't mean they're going to come, right? So it just doesn't translate into foot traffic. So for me, it's, and then shows that I have done before, right, where I had a really good experience, I always go back to those.
That's good. What advice would you give to a newcomer?
So for a newcomer, okay, here is my advice is, first of all, know why you're doing it. And if it's just because it is a side hustle and it's what you want to do, maybe to make a little money, that's okay. But just understand what your why is and why you're doing what you're doing, because that will help you also manage what type of products, whether you're going to make it or whether you're going to buy different stuff and put it together, you know, however you're going to do it. To me, understanding what your why is really the driving point in your whole business. And then you just have to know it's going to be a lot of work and it's not going to be easy. And sometimes you're going to have those frustrating markets where there's not a lot of foot traffic and you just say, hey, that's okay because, you know, there's another market. There's always another market. So if you're not, I set goals. I set goals. So if you have a goal and you really understand your why and you don't meet that goal, say in 2 to 3 years, then you might want to rethink either what your product line is, analyze your why, and decide if you want to continue to do it or not. That makes sense.
Yeah. What's the ultimate vision for the business?
The ultimate vision for the business. Ooh, that's such a good question, and I should have a ready answer for that. But I would like to get my product out to maybe in some retail products. I have actually had people come to me and ask. I just have not pursued it, and I'm not sure why. So because I do have a wholesale pricing. But I would like to get it out and I would, like to really grow my business in regard to its ability to help people with their skin. Cause that's really what I want to do is I want to be able to help people to understand, and educate people. That's what my newsletter I do every week is all about, is educating people to be better consumers so that they can come to something like this and read the label and understand, oh yeah, this is this is good for me, versus something else that you might get at a store that probably isn't good for your skin.
Yeah. You say newsletter. What is your website and what is the newsletter name?
So I have my website is Lux, L-U-X-E, body, and then works, WORX.com. And my newsletter, you just go to my website and right there at the top, you can sign up for my newsletter. I just send it out once a week. It's always on Sundays. And I would say 90% of the time, it's all educational, making you better consumers. And I cover everything, not only skin care, but also fitness and health and well-being. Because I am an exercise physiologist by education.
Well, Samantha, it was nice chatting with you.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Okay.